is on external debt.
And the local debt is more expensive.
Yep.
Yeah.
And can we say that the local debt actually gobbles up a lot of what could be left available for the private sector to then inject into, that would essentially boost the economy?
Yeah, to a relatively, you can say that that's what you call crowding out effect, where that when the government comes to borrow from the market domestically, and you find that a number of the participants that come in are banks coming in to lend to the government. So it means that they don't have the resources to be able to lend to the riskier segment of the economy, the real sector. So because of that, so we don't have the monies that should be or lending by banks to the private sector is somewhat stifled because it's easy now to lend to the government. But that said, let me just sort of paint a picture of the recent developments. We've seen that even the central bank, there's been some measures from the central bank. They have reduced the benchmark lending rate. And a result of that, and all the banks are somehow towing the line in the sense that we've seen the efforts of pivoting to what we call the risk-based credit lending. And the fact that now, as the CBK is reducing its lending rate, all the banks' lending rate similarly follow what we call the transmission mechanism has really improved because of that. And because of that, you're seeing that even the lending to the private sector has greatly increased, despite the fact that even the government is coming to the market raising 312 billion, as was the case last week. But still, we are seeing that there's still that vibrant lending to the private sector because of the efforts that have been done so far. As the start of last year, lending to the private sector was in negative. So that means that if you compared the total credit that has been lent out by banks in January 2025 vis-a-vis where it was in January 2024, it was a contraction, I think 2%. But right now, if you compare the stock of credit to the private sector as of June, July, thereabout, compared to where the levels they were a year ago, is now in double digits. So that's a good thing, that despite all this, so somewhat you can say crowding out or effect, but you're still seeing that there's still vibrancy.